controlled and dominated. And here's a great.
So, in wrapping up Toxic Relationships Astrology series, I wanted to come on here and give you guys some examples of what I was talking about. So, in part 5, in the I am addicted to you series or part, I discussed how in the seventh house, in this particular case, in that series or in that part specifically, there were several parts to it. But the I am addicted to you personality relates to this case in the sense that it has, this kind of controlling, like when someone is attracted to someone that's controlling and has power over them, it's usually that Saturn is either sitting in their seventh house or powerfully aspecting their seventh house. So, in the seventh house, we are dealing with a lot of themes of opposition, and with that comes projection. So, when you're looking at your astrology chart, even though the seventh house is the house of relationships, and it's said that is the person that you will be attracted to, it's usually something that's inside of yourself that you project out onto someone else. And I'm not victim blaming. In this story, it's like pretty severe. Even though it's a fictional story, it does happen in real life. But I think the thing about astrology is that it kind of teaches you that, and especially when you're dealing with the seventh house, you're dealing with values in relationships. And so, like, to me, I was just talking about the toxic aspects. So that means that more than likely you don't have a clear set of values, and which is going to lead to not having clear boundaries. So in this particular case, my assessment would be that this person, this fictional tale that she went over, you could watch the video if you're on TikTok, but is dealing with that they probably themselves have Saturn in their seventh house or powerfully aspected. So they project out someone who takes the responsibility for all the decisions. This would probably mean that their parent, or they're looking for a substitute parent, and that their parent wasn't really, either their parent was too strict or maybe not strict at all. So they're looking for someone to take that responsibility. So in essence, it's like the person's kind of imbalance when it comes to either uh well, in this case, taking responsibility themselves. So they attract someone who would manifest the dark side of Saturn, which is coldness, lack of emotional closeness, or they are completely controlling, as in this case. So, as far as, anyone that's experiencing these type of things, and I know certain things are easier said than done, especially when you're dealing with your psyche and you're, projecting things out, you don't really see, you feel like the outside world should give you what you're lacking, which is in this case what this person projected out and they receive back. And sometimes I think in relationships, you got to look at it as a mirror. Like, your partner is your mirror. So, whatever, if that person is controlling, is either that you yourself are controlling, or, you lack some type of, in this case, I mean, the woman was responsible for the household, so she is responsible, but the person had absolute control over everything that they did. So it's kind of like a mirror of yourself. Like, that is also you. And I hope I'm explaining that right. So pretty much you need to develop your capabilities of inner security, and then it's less likely that you're going to project out someone, the responsibility and control onto others. So once again, everything in our chart is us. Like everything you see in your astrology chart, even though astrologers would say the seventh house is what you attract, that is you. That's things that, even though you're attracting those people, those are maybe qualities that you need to develop in yourself.